Good evening. It is Monday night. This is Tiffany Roman. I am your host, and this is Small Biz Highlight. What a crazy week it has been building up to my Small Business Saturday event, and it is finally completed. Such a great time having all those vendors on the show with me, getting the opportunity to introduce them all to you while showcasing their products. And it was just an all around great time, a very long day, 6 hours, but it definitely was worth it. And I'm so grateful for everyone involved, babysitters, and all of that to make it possible. Because otherwise, I'm not sure my kids would leave me alone for 6 hours. But for those of you that have been so gracious enough to join us tonight, thank you. First of all, if you don't know, my name is Tiffany. I am the host of Small Biz Highlight. We come live every Monday evening to show and introduce you to a new business at 6 p.m. and 6:35 p.m. Eastern. Our web show goes from a web show on Monday to a podcast on Tuesday and so much more after that. We are streaming live at this very moment with StreamYard. I want to just give you a brief reminder that if you are going to leave a comment, please do, by the way. We would love to see your comments, questions live on screen. But to make sure we can see your name and your profile photo, please just go to streamyard.com/Facebook. Click on that and it'll allow them to talk to each other. Don't worry, it's in the description of the video and I will copy and paste into the comments just in case. Don't worry. All right, so our Small Business Saturday event was a lot of fun. If you missed it by any chance, it's okay. I won't hold it against you. All the vendor information and all the ways to contact them and whatnot can be found by texting Small Biz to 717-670-6400. It's my little hub that I made with all the information in one spot for you. It won't be there forever, but it will be there for a time. So please take time to check it out and see who was there and see how you can support a small business. It's still not too late. Just because it's not Small Biz Saturday anymore doesn't mean you don't have to support small businesses. It should be every day. Anyways, I digress. Oh, tonight I have a really great guest. I am so excited to introduce you to Adena, which I really hope that's how you pronounce your name. As you know, I am horrible at remembering to ask people how to pronounce their names before going live. So please just leave me. One day somebody will set me straight, I'm saying. But I'm really excited. She has a really great business, very different than the ones I've featured before. So that's always exciting. But first, let's get to know her a little bit. So let me bring her on here. Give me 1 second. Hello, Adena.
Hi. Yes, you said my name perfectly. Perfectly. No problem.
I'm very notorious for that. For anybody who watches on a regular basis, I'm horrible at asking.
I know.
I really got to get in the habit of it.
Sometimes they can be tricky sometimes, but thank you for having me. This is so much fun. This is awesome.
I'm so excited for you to be here. I torture my guests first and foremost with a question that sometimes trips them up.
Okay.
Who are you, Adena?
Who am I? Okay, well, my name is Adena, and I live outside of Philadelphia, so not too far from where you are. Oh. And I've been married for almost 21 years, and I am a mom to a 14-year-old daughter. And I am also a mom to a 16-year-old dachshund. And that's really who I am. I started a business and I'm an entrepreneur now. And, I live the crazy mom life. So that's kind of my gig. That's what I do.
I know all about the crazy mom life.
Yeah.
My kids are a little bit smaller than yours.
Yeah.
I have a 5-year-old and a 6-year-old.
Okay.
So they're both boys and they're nonstop.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. Well, we're dealing with, teenage stuff and starting high school and everything that goes along with that. So we have our ups and we have our downs.
In a way, it's got to be so exciting, though.
Yes,
to get them to that point. It's all part of the growing experience.
Exactly right. Exactly
That
right.
hashtag mom life is something else. I'm not gonna lie,
Hmm.
especially when you incorporate a business into it. So
Yeah,
your business is called Comeback.
my business is called Comeback. Yes,
It's so cool. So would you tell us exactly what is Comeback?
Sure, sure. Comeback is a reselling platform similar to like a Poshmark or Mercari, where people can go and resell their clothing or accessories, but only items that fit into niche categories that I have on the website. So it's not for everything in the kitchen sink. It's specific items that fit into these different categories. So, do you want the back? Can I give the backstory of how this all
Yes,
happened?
please.
Okay.
Why those specific categories were your go-to for
Right.
this
Okay.
business
So
of
the
yours?
backstory is that, and I know you're probably going to ask me this question later about how the pandemic affected my business. And maybe I'll start with that and just say that the
Sure.
pandemic hasn't really had an effect on the business. I think the pandemic created my business.
Mm,
Um, Reason being is because when everything went into lockdown, and at the time I was I was a stay-at-home mom, but I was doing some substitute teaching. My background is actually in special education, but I was doing some substituting in preschools, various preschools around my area. And when
yeah.
lockdown happened, obviously everything closed up. No one was
Yeah.
going to school, so I was home. I decided to use this newfound time to go and go through my closet, go through my daughter's closet, and start weeding out things that we just weren't wearing or using anymore. Um, Everything was in really, really good condition. Nothing was, ripped or torn or anything like that. It was just stuff that we just weren't wearing anymore or using. And some of the things that my daughter had still had tags on it because she outgrew it before she actually could put it on her body. So
Oh,
um,
wow.
those things, ordinarily I would just bag everything up and take it to a clothing dumpster at the gas station and make my donation, and that would be the end of it. But I had heard of these other reselling websites like Poshmark and Mercari and thought, you know what, these things are really good. Let me see if I could actually get some money for these items.
Yes.
So I listed a bunch of things, and I was running back and forth to the post office because people were buying my stuff, which was great. Um, but then I had a bag of clothing that was from my daughter's overnight camp that she goes to in the summertime up in the Poconos. And everything
Okay.
was branded with the name of the camp on it. And I thought, how come with being in the Northeast, overnight camp is a big deal up here. Why
Oh gosh,
isn't there
yes.
a place where families could go and resell their kids' camp swag after they've used it and don't want it anymore, or they've outgrown it from year to year? Um, and so I thought, you know what? I'm going to create a space where families can go and list their kids' camp stuff, just like a Poshmark or Mercari set up the same way, but just for camp stuff. So I did that. And what I
Hmm.
found was that when I launched in August of 2020, that summer in particular, kids were not at camp because of COVID. Um, people were coming to the site to check it out, but no one was buying anything. And I thought, what's happening here? And that's when I realized that kids A are not at camp, and B, it's already August and they're starting to think about going back to school in the fall. So that's when I launched the college stuff. So now we have camp, college. And then my husband said, if people are living near major cities, you probably should start with like professional sports teams by those cities. So Eagles stuff, Sixers stuff, Chicago Bulls, wherever they are, they could list their stuff. So it started just with camp, college, and professional sports teams. And I was finding that people were coming to the site and they were listing their things to sell, and people were buying from each other, which was great. Um, and that's pretty much how it got started. And from there, every few months, I've just been opening different, I call them closets. So, oh, there you go. Thanks. Yeah. So all the closets are on the left-hand side. You can see them: camps, colleges and universities, fraternities and sororities, any kind of fan gear,
Oh,
school uniforms, dance costumes, and most recently I opened up event wear. So any kind of like formal attire, mother of the bride dresses, bat mitzvah dresses, anything like that, and suits, for boys. Any of that stuff can get listed. So that's what
oh,
you
this
do.
is so
You
cool.
Nothing gets sent to me. Everything is done from your house or your business. Things can be pre-loved or they can be brand new. You set the price for whatever it is that you want to sell. And then when an item sells, it's up to you to ship the item to the buyer. You can charge for shipping, so the shipping doesn't have to come out of your pocket. And anything that sells for $15 or less, comeback takes $2.95. Anything that you sell
Okay.
for over $15, comeback takes 20% and you keep the rest. And that's it.
Oh, wow.
That's it. So,
That is so cool.
yeah. So, like I said, it's anything that you have that kind of fits into these niche categories. I didn't want, when you sell on Poshmark or Mercari, you can list just about anything from any brand, um, any accessory, article of clothing, and you can do that here too. But it has to fit into one of these categories. So
I
that's
think
it.
this is such a great idea. I mean,
Thanks.
I can't think of how many shirts I have from sports or whatnot growing up through the years that I just didn't want anymore, but then
Yeah.
also didn't knew that if I dropped it off to get donated or something that most likely nobody would want it either. Like for what
Right.
purpose?
Right. And the
But
whole and the
you're
whole thing
giving
is
like
that now people see these things
yes.
and they're like vintage and kids love that stuff. So if they see like an old camp t-shirt from a camp that they used to go to, they want that stuff. They want that stuff. So it's kind of cool to start hearing stories from people who say that, they had their favorite camp t-shirt and something happened to it and they never had it back again, and then all of a sudden they see it on the website and they buy it immediately because it brings back that nostalgia
Yeah.
from being there. And same with all the college stuff. Now you go into a college bookstore and easily you can drop, hundreds of dollars on college swag. Well, here, when you shop on Comeback, you can get it for a lot less than you would at the college bookstore. So, and
Oh
some of the
yeah.
things that are on there are brand new. I mean, still have tags on them.
I
So,
think those are the definitely the items that people think, well, I could never resell these, especially because the websites now, like you said, these are the kind of things they're not looking for to
right,
resell.
right,
They don't expect to resell, but you're proving them wrong with your
right,
website, obviously. I
right.
mean, I think this is a really great idea. It's
Thanks.
genius. And
Thank you.
to
Thank you.
look at something that's, already being successful, but recognizing that they missed a certain group of
Yeah,
people out there. You know
exactly.
what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
And I'm starting, I haven't I'm always, one thing that I pride myself on is that I am doing this completely on my own. I am the best customer service around. So, and I always tell people, my direct messages are always open. I'm very easily accessible through Instagram and um Facebook and a couple other platforms. And if I welcome feedback, and I want to hear from people what other closets they would be interested in, later on down the line, when I'm ready to expand a little bit more. I've got a bunch of stuff going around in my mind already, but I welcome the feedback. I really do. So, yeah,
wow, that's great. That's great that you recognize, that you're welcome to feedback and stuff because it's all about how you grow. That's definitely one
exactly.
of the biggest things about growing. I mean, on top of dealing with this business of yours, everything included with it, being a one woman show, plus that you're taking care of your kids, getting them to school and
Yeah.
whatnot, it's got to be
Yeah.
so much. What are some tips that you have for, managing your time between the business
Uh,
and family?
It's hard. I'm not gonna
It
lie.
is.
It's hard. I think it's really important to know that I'm learning this, and I'm trying to take my own advice, but you're gonna have bad days, and it's okay to have bad days and to feel, kind of down in the dumps about things, but you just have to remember that it's temporary. And if you believe in what you're doing, you just gotta, pick yourself up and push through it. And when you do get a transaction, or somebody, sends you a nice message or thanks you for something that you did for them, you celebrate those moments and you say, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. But as far as managing time, I think it's also really important to say, you know what, I've had enough for today, and to close your computer up and just walk away, because whatever it is, it'll be there again tomorrow. So,
I know I'm
and
horrible with
nothing is
that.
in that much of an emergency that
Yes.
needs the attention right away. So I think, um, just remembering this is just a little piece of who you are, and it's not all of who you are, and that you have to remember where your priorities really are. And for me, it's being a mom, it's being a wife, and um, this is something else. This is another extension of me, but it's not all of me. So
Oh, wow. I
yeah.
mean, I could see so many different things here. Like for next year during the holidays, having like a special category for Christmas, ugly Christmas
Ugly
sweaters.
person. I thought about the same thing just the other day. That's so funny you said that, because I thought the same thing.
That would be
I have
so
a
cool.
in my closet right now. I told you before, I have a dachshund, a dog who's, the hot dog
Yes.
kind of dog. So I have a I have a sweater that has a dachshund on it. It was one of those ugly Christmas sweaters I think I got at Target. But I'm like, I'm never going to wear this. Where am I wearing this? And then I thought, oh my God, I could open an ugly sweater closet. And yes, totally. Yes. I'm
That
already
would be
thinking about
so much fun because then for those of us that, have an event coming up where they want us to wear ugly sweaters, we could easily find one and then just go back and resell it if we
it. For
don't want
sure.
it
For
anymore.
sure. Yeah. Yeah. It's a
I guess
great
that's the
idea.
genius of the whole thing of this business,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah. It's been fun. It really has been. I'm trying to think of unique things that people might have lying around that, they just wouldn't know what to do with after they're done with it. So, um, yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I keep going
Wow. That's all you can do at this point.
for
I
sure.
mean, this is beyond exciting. I'm very excited for you. I know
Thank
there's
you.
got to be so many different ideas you could go with this as easily as the Christmas sweaters and just other fun things to incorporate during the different holidays and stuff to really
Yep.
amp up like um your viewership and people wanting to stop by and see. I mean, everybody's looking for ways to save money and make a
Yes.
little money on the side nowadays.
Yes.
And it's really nice that you're giving them that opportunity to do stuff on
Yes.
items they didn't think they could at one point.
Right. Right. Well,
Yeah.
I read somewhere that the secondhand market right now is, within the next 5 years, it's going to be exploding. So, if you've never tried to resell before, listen, I'm still a newbie at it myself. So I'm always learning from different people who have been doing this for a long time, but it can be very, very lucrative. And, it's a great way to give things a second chance that, rather than throwing it out, or, I'm a big, um, component of keeping things out of the landfill and doing good things for the earth and things like that. So I always look around my house and see things and think, oh well, what am I going to do with this after I'm done with it? And if I can not throw it away, that's what I do. I either donate it, or I give it away, or I try to resell it. And you make a little extra cash on the side, why not? It's a good
Now,
thing.
I'm completely new to any of this. I've never tried to sell anything like
Try it.
clothes or anything online before.
You'll be
I know you said
surprised.
you're somewhat of a newbie too, but what
Yeah.
kind of tips would you have for someone who's brand new coming in that wants to post stuff on the site?
I would start small. I would start
Okay.
small. Don't start selling a sofa or a king size bed or anything like that right away. But clothing or little knick-knacky things. If your kids' old toys, the baby toys that they're no longer
Yes.
using anymore, that's huge. And I just see what people are looking for in your area. Go on to Facebook and see what people are asking for. That's always a good way to gauge what people are interested in. Um, and then just little things. If you find that you're cleaning out your garage or your basement and you find something, put it up for a couple of dollars. It's new money that you didn't have before. That's what I say. It's like
That's
$5 I didn't have
awesome.
in my pocket before, so why not? um, but to be consistent with it, make sure you're
Okay.
going back to your listings and just making sure that keeping things fresh and new. And if you need to update pictures or anything like that, that's also important to do. And good lighting. Make sure you take your pictures in good lighting without filters, because you want your customers to know exactly what they're getting. So, if you
Oh,
put a filter on
absolutely.
it, it might distort the picture a little bit. So make sure, you take the picture in just regular lens. And yeah, that's it. And try
Wow,
comeback.
those are
I
really
mean,
great tips, actually.
what'd you say?
I said those are really great tips, actually, for someone who's starting out. Those
Yeah.
are things you don't really tend to think about or, keep in mind when you're starting out. The pictures, making sure it's
Mhm.
clear enough so they can actually see what they're getting,
Mhm.
that kind of
Yeah.
thing. Being as descriptive as possible.
Yes, good
Maybe it has
description.
been
And
worn.
be as honest as you can. So if there is, if you're selling a shirt and there might be a bleach stain, from doing the laundry on the
Oh,
back of
okay.
the shirt, make sure you take a picture of that bleach stain, because no one likes to get a surprise when the item gets
Oh,
delivered. So always be upfront and honest about anything that you're selling.
awesome. All right. Well, if you have joined us in the middle of this or are catching our podcast version of this episode, we have been talking with Adena about her business Comeback. If you want to check her out, her information has been scrolling at the bottom of the screen the whole episode, or it is in the description of the video and podcast episode for you to easily click and follow to her website and
Yes,
social
please.
media pages that she's got going on. Please check her out. Maybe you have some memorabilia from your past that you're willing to get rid of and don't know what to do with. I'm telling you, Adena can help you figure it out and get
I
it
am happy to
taken
help you.
care of
Just
for
shoot
you.
me a message. I will help you get signed up. I will help you navigate your way through the website, anything you need, but definitely come and check it out for sure.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Adena, for taking time
Thank
today to be
you.
here tonight with me. I really appreciate it.
I was happy to be here. Thank you for having me, Tiffany.
It was my pleasure. And as always, I will leave you with your friendly reminder, everyone, to put your communities first. We do that by shopping small and supporting local. So have a good night, everyone. And I will be back in a few with my next guest, which we've got two coming up. And it's a bit of a surprise. I'll leave it for then because if you are in need of a laugh, stop by for the next episode. I can't control them sometimes with their dad jokes, so I'm just giving a forewarning right now. But thank you again, Adena, so much. And I look forward to catching up with you later on to see how things are going with you.
For sure. Love to. All right, Tiffany. Have a
Awesome.
good night. I'll
All
talk
right,
to you soon.
everyone. Support your communities by shopping small and supporting local.